It's Sid and Dion, brothers on a comedy path. All jokes aside, we about to change the math. Real talk plus no filter equals not your usual chatter. From sports to politics, all subjects matter. Never shallow, we about to go into the deep end. Get ready to dive in, go ahead, grab a friend. Now this is grown people business, keep them kids inside. Now that's debatable, jump on, it's time to ride. Yeah, now that's debatable. Now that's debatable. Here we go. Time to start the show.
What is good, master debaters? Before we say anything else, I want to let the world know I'm drinking the Liquid Death. Liquid Death, y'all been out there just making all kind of deals with stand-up comics. All you got to do is put a can on the bar stool. I think it's one of the greatest things y'all ever came up with. But you got two of the funniest dudes telling jokes right here on this podcast, this show. We need to have a deal. Liquid Death, get it right. Come on, man. Come on. We do a lot of dates. We can put a lot of cans on bar stools, man, tell a lot of jokes. People come out. We got clubs. He's at Helium. I'm at the Improvs all the time, stand up live, man. We make this stuff work. Liquid Death. Partner up. Partner up. Delicious. Refresh. Watch this. Liquid Death. That cool, refreshing drink. What is good, Master Debaters? What's up, bro?
Can I just say, if I was working for Liquid Death and I saw that, I'd be like, yo, don't ever hire these motherfuckers.
What? Liquid Death, don't listen to anything he just got done saying. What is good, Master Debaters? We are back. Myself, Sidney Smith, that is Dion Curry, over there trying to kill the Liquid Death deal before he even fucking rolls across our desk. Ain't even got time to even fucking sign it yet. You ever trying to kill a deal?
You lost me with the refreshing drink, bro.
This is why I always say, when the shit pops off, your office is going to be down the hall. No one's allowed to go down there and talk to Dion. Down there just upsetting stuff. Thank you guys. Welcome back to another show, man. We got a good one lined up for you guys here on Monday. Again, I'm Sidney. That is Dion. Thank you guys for jumping in here with us. I see Mary is already in saying hi, guys. She says yes to the Liquid Death deal. My brother Bruce is up. He says, Charlie says hi, Uncle Sidney. What's good, Charlie? You better be behaving, man. Better be behaving. Give me some of that birthday money. What's
Can I
up?
be very clear?
What's up, bro?
I'm not against any Liquid Death deals. I'm just saying you didn't do a very good advertisement, bro.
What are you talking about, bro? I did the Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I did my Eddie Murphy doing Elvis. Cool, refreshing drink. Ricky McClay says, I'm not trying it till it happens. I appreciate you, Rick. But you had to get in on this Liquid Death, son. Get in on this.
It really is good water, though.
It is good water. And and like everyone says this, when we first saw the can, like, what kind of fucking malt liquor is that they trying to sell? Nah, anybody drinking that. But then you say, oh no, it's water. And it is, for water in a can, it is very, very good. I've had other water in cans. Not good at all. You can taste the metal and all that type of thing. It's good water. And I'm not just saying that because we should have that deal. I don't know what's going on. My phone ain't ringing yet, Liquid Death. Oh, all right. We got a good show. Dion, what's good, man? How you doing, brother? What's good? What's happening? What's going on in Dion's world?
I'm great. Happy Monday to you and all the Master Debaters. Busy weekend of shows. They were fun.
Good.
Hopefully, we got some new eyes. I mentioned the podcast on each show. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Got a few people in. I don't like this at all, Mary. You turning against me? Mary says, Sydney, leave the impressions to Dion, please. Look here. I never said impressions was my favorite thing to do, Mary. All right, Mary, how dare you? Facebook user, I'm assuming this is Slim, says, what up, though?
Yeah.
Well,
Asmag Phoenix.
yeah, Easy Max.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's his car club.
Okay.
Again, we got a great show lined up for you guys. I don't know if you guys saw the new advertisement we're going to be throwing out every week for the show, but we're going to talk some Dave Chappelle, Katt Williams. We're going to talk some Kevin Hart, Torrei Hart, Katt Williams shit, and then if we have time, we got another list or a poll, I should say. We're going to throw up past you guys, see if we can get your thoughts on that. Dion, sir.
Yes, sir.
I know you were anxious you said to see what I was going to think about it. Dion put the video up in the group. I hope everyone had a chance to see it. It was And look, I'm thinking they were in Chicago at the Improv. It was Dave Chappelle up there. A couple of people walked out. They commented, so I'm sure Dave was probably up there for a long time. D. Ray, he and Dave were going back and forth. Deion Cole was on the stage, and they got to going back and forth with their own debates about Katt Williams and that interview from a couple of weeks ago on Club Shay Shay. Deion, this was your topic that you wanted to see what I thought, so I want you to kind of take it from here, if you will, and introduce it to everyone.
Well, so everybody remembers what Cat Williams said on the Shay Shay podcast, but this, I don't know if it was in Chicago or LA. I think it was in LA, but I could be wrong. Anyway, doesn't matter. Dave Chappelle's take was basically that he rocks with Cat Williams, but he felt like it should have been kept in house and that we should have dealt with it internally, and that you should never, as he says, take bread out of someone's mouth. So, which that was the real crux of why I was posing this question to you, because
Okay.
of why I wanted you to watch it. Is what is your take specifically on that idea of you should never take food out of someone's mouth, and i.e., their ability to earn money and feed themselves?
It's weird because you and I on the show we quote a lot of pop culture, a lot of comics, a lot of other different things. Something else may come up later that I'm gonna quote. You and I talked about it on the phone. But what I would say this, I'm gonna quote Jay-Z on this one, and I quoted Jay-Z earlier when we were talking about it. And in one of Jay-Z's songs, he has in there, "What you eat doesn't make me shit." And so, concerning Cat Williams, I don't know why you would feel the need to keep talking about other comedians and what they said and what they do, because nothing that, according to you, nothing they've said thus far has affected your popularity and your tours and the money that you're making. So I would never go out of my way to take from someone else's ability to make money. I don't think that's right. I don't think you should. You and I've heard enough stories about that. There are comics out there that will and have done that. But I also think, and this is why I kind of agree with some of what Dave was saying, was especially amongst the black comics, there's too much infighting amongst ourselves sometimes, especially amongst black male comics. And we all almost give our power away to the powers that be, if you will, because we do behave and act like there can only be one. And if someone else is making it, that means I'm not making it now, even though you got 100 billion headline of comics able to tour and hit all the clubs and cruise ships and everything else. So in terms of that, I don't think you should ever, unless it's personal. Now, if it's personal in terms of you fucking with my wife, you fucking with my family, something along those lines, all bets are fucking off. But for me, outside of that, I'm not gonna bother with what someone else is able to do and how much money they're able to make.
I liken this to kind of the Joe Rogan, Carlos Mencia thing, where Joe Rogan calls out Mencia for stealing jokes, and the agency sides with Mencia, obviously, because he's a bigger draw than Joe Rogan, and he's making them a lot more money. But Joe Rogan was right. So at the end of the day, their careers have switched, right? And so I picture Cat to be the Joe Rogan in this scenario, and he's talking about Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer as if they're Carlos Mencia. Whereas Mencia falls off the face of the map. Steve Harvey's got those 7 shows he's doing, all, Steve Harvey, and Ced's been on that neighborhood show for, it's syndicated by now, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. It seems like yesterday, but yeah, it's been on for a while.
So, he's not suffering any ill effects. So the call out aspect of it in this regard only diminishes them in the stand up game, but neither one of them are really there anymore. So it doesn't really move the needle. And as much as we all argue about who our favorite comics are, there's nothing wrong with liking Steve Harvey's stand up. There's nothing wrong with liking Cedric the Entertainer stand up. There's nothing wrong with liking Cat. Like, you don't have to like the people in order to like the bit. I think that's what a lot of people get misconstrued, is that I cannot like you as a person and still think you're funny. And just this whole idea that white comics don't beef in public the way black comics do. I don't necessarily know if that's true, but then again, I'm not keyed into white comedy and what they talk about. I'm not watching that, so I
Well,
don't know.
well, even if they are beefing, they're not on the spot with a spotlight like that, like we normally are when we're beefing. They're not on a bunch of podcasts talking trash for the most part. Even when they get into legit trouble, they all kind of seem to protect one another. I don't want to mention anybody's names, but we've had a couple of high-profile white comedians come out, and the white comedy community, in terms of what the public was able to see and hear, was mum's the fucking word, even though they knew that it had been going on. I would say with your example of Joe Rogan and Carlos Mencia and the agents and the industry and the clubs and how that flip flopped and I I don't think that necessarily had anything to do with that because you made a great point. The powers that be at that time did not care. Carlos was still making a ton of money for them. That show was still working out for him, so on and so forth. That's why the stealing of jokes doesn't seem to matter in terms of the comedy community as a whole. Because for the comic who steals it and makes it, it's great. And for the club, the agents, the managers, or whatever, they're fucking making money off the fact that you're doing whatever you're doing as well. I think ultimately what probably why they flip flopped, and this had nothing to do with Carlos stealing jokes or with that, was that Joe Rogan got that podcast that he never thought was going to turn into what it turned into. And I think that's more the reason why Joe's popularity has turned and flipped and put him in position to be able to do some of the things he's doing now.
Well, that and the fact that he had the truth on his side, and that's kind of what I was hinting at with the Cat Williams aspect of it. Is he is telling the truth, and it's the main reason why Steve Harvey said don't do stand up anymore. They got out of it because of the fact that they were stealing jokes. Now you can say they got these TV shows and da da da. Anybody can take a TV or movie deal. That's they hire a team of writers for you. You get to pick the person who best matches with your voice. But it's not like they're writing everything themselves. Whereas in stand up, you literally have to write everything yourself.
Well, I think, and we talked about this. I think there was some untruths told by uh, the people who sat in that seat before Katt. With Steve saying, "I didn't want to be a movie star." You and I talked about this. Most of
Mm-hmm.
us who get up and tell jokes, we want to be movie stars. There is a rare few. I shouldn't say a rare few. There are quite a few comics headliners who don't want to do it. But those are the guys who grind on the road and they're happy making their 300,000 to 400,000, whatever they're making, just headlining B and C clubs. And those guys do exist. Do I believe Steve Harvey never wanted to be a movie star? 100% absolutely not. Do I believe that was the truth? I think probably what you say was closer to it when Katt burned his ass on stage and Steve couldn't keep up and so on and so forth. Steve segued his ass off into doing other things, game shows and talk shows and so on and so forth. As far as Ced goes, his name is Ced the Entertainer. I think he's always wanted to have a couple of a foot or two in other aspects of entertainment, acting, being on stage, being able to dance, sing, and all that type of thing. I don't know if anybody out there remembers. He used to have a variety show back in the day. I think that came on CBS, and it didn't last that long. So I think that kind of all went with it. But yes, Joe Rogan had the truth. But here's my problem though, and this is where I would say I appreciate what Katt did more than what Joe. Unless you're going to go around and just hit random stages and just start pulling headliners aside and outing them for stealing jokes, you can't do it to Carlos and then act like it doesn't exist in other places. So with Katt, at least Katt went up there and dropped multiple names and threw dirt on multiple names when he was on that couch, as opposed to what Joe Rogan did, which again, you went after this man for no reason. What Carlos was doing didn't even affect you, and I don't know what the
I
purpose
think they
was
had
for it.
personal beef because some of the openers that Carlos had were good friends of Joe's, and Joe's a fighter guy, so he would want all the smoke. You're like, oh, his friend told him about, hey, this guy's ripping me off. Oh, I got you back, and I think that's what started it.
And that was and another level of it, bully move as well, because here you are. I don't know how many people out there know, but Joe was an accomplished fighter.
I don't think that's bullying.
I think it's bullying when you go to a person, you have the skill level that you have, and you step up to that person as aggressive as Joe did, knowing this person can't take you on. That is bullying.
No, that would be bullying if that person wasn't doing anything wrong. But that person was clearly doing something wrong and
Okay,
just getting his comeuppance.
no,
I don't.
no,
I don't. You can't make Joe Rogan the bully in that scenario
I
just because Carlos Mencia can't fight. That's not Joe Rogan's fault.
I'm definitely going to make him the bully in that scenario for me, in my humble opinion. But that's me.
Why?
I just said it. I just said it.
Because Carlos can't fight. That's not fair.
It's not even can't fight. You can't match the disciplines that of a trained fighter. This isn't you're just out here and you can't fight on the street. This is you not only can you probably not fight, but this dude is trained in the discipline that he's trained in and holding whatever records for kicking as hard as he kicked back
Yeah,
over in
which
Boston,
means
that type of thing.
I mean, I don't think Joe Rogan was ever going to put his hands on Carlos Mencia, but
I look, when you step up to a person and that person can't handle themselves, trust me, in their heart, they are afraid to death that this motherfucker put his hands on me. But that's where I'm at with that. But yeah, I don't believe in taking opportunities from people, taking food out of your mouth.
But see, I'm all for it if they're bad people, and however you deem them to be in your eyes and in your your walk of life. If they've wronged you and you feel like I don't want to see this person do this to anybody else, because there was a local comic here who did me super dirty, and then when I found out about it, I made sure anybody and everybody I knew not to work with this guy. He
But
was
that's a
stealing
personal,
money.
right? But that's a personal thing, and that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Well,
Personal.
and that's well, personally, he's claiming that these people did him dirty, and that's why he threw. I mean, there's a reason why he didn't take any shots at you know people who hadn't done anything to him.
Look, I would even say if Dave Chappelle had done something to Cat wouldn't get up there and try to trash Dave Chappelle on that couch last week.
I,
I don't think he's that.
if Dave was wrong in Cat's eyes, I think he would.
What did you think of
If
the?
if if he was going off, no, I think he has a little bit more respect for Dave than he did
Yeah,
for Ricky Smiley or Steve Harvey or Sid. So
I had a question I want to throw at you, and I hopefully you guys had a chance to watch the video that Dion put up on the Not As Debatable Facebook page. What did you think of the whole thing of Dave and D Ray kind of going back and forth about this? I myself found it a little irritating just watching it. And had I been a civilian sitting in the audience, I would have found it even more irritating that the two of you are up here doing this. Like, I don't need D. Ray Davis out here having this conversation with Dave Chappelle. I found it to be absolutely unnecessary.
well, I think the comic in me loves that type of dynamic when you get two headliners on stage and they're having a back and forth, whatever they're having a back and forth about. I tend to enjoy them. Just because I like to see comics having fun on stage. Normally, when you bring somebody else up on stage with you, it's not for beef. It's for, this is my guy. You kind of celebrate each other in the moment. So when we do get these rare opportunities where there's video of headliners clashing, I thought it was great. I would have stayed the entire time because, outside of comedy, hearing what these two have to say is rare that you're going to be able to get them in the same room at the same time, and their levels are so different, but yet they have mutual respect for each other, which was something I thought was kind of cool to watch.
I I liked Dion Cole's reaction that someone got on camera when he was listening to what Dave was saying. Again, going back to it, while it was entertaining, while we talked about it a week ago and we had a great, and people were like, that was the greatest podcast you guys have ever done. I do wish, in fact, Bernie Mac tells a joke. Someone's been running it for 2 weeks since that Cat Williams. And the joke and I'm sure someone else told it, it's almost a white guy, black guy preacher type, one of those type of role playing jokes. And they're all trying to get into heaven. And they got to go across St. Peter's, and you got to ask St. Peter's a question that he does not know the answer to. And the punchline to it that gets Bernie in is, when are black people going to get along? I believe that's. I think I'm around about what that punchline is. I'm not going to do the fucking
Stick
doubles.
together.
Thank you. Stick together. And that got him into heaven. And I tend to think that these conversations that come from that are somewhat surrounded with that. When are we going to? When are we going to pull together? I would even add to that. When are we going to not only come together but try to have our own shit? I mean, we have the and we talk about this all the time. You and I talk about this personally. We have the Oprah Winfrey's, we have the Tyler Perry's, we have the Lee Daniels, we have a few others out there who have kind of showed you the way on how to make things happen for yourself, and yet we would still rather get on camera and ask, why am I not being treated fairly? Why can I not have more? Or on the other hand, get on camera and just take each other down, and neither one is good for us.
But it's there's a problem in the black community that you and I have talked about in length. Is that we're always late to support, and so it don't matter how many Tyler Perrys and Oprahs that you have. If you don't have the people supporting when it's time to support, it's nothing lasts. Things well, it's not making me the money. I'll sell it, and then it gets bastardized, and that's how we've always done everything. The culture here in America, when it comes to black people, is we build it up, they come and buy it, and then bastardize, and then we create something else. It's just a repeating cycle of
And not
we
and
we not owning anything and giving it away and then getting mad about what happens to it afterward.
that was going to be my point. I was going to make sure you beat me to it. Not only do they come and buy it, but we are just too happy to sell it, just too happy to sell it. Yeah, take it. It's all yours. Do what you're gonna do with it. Make the
I
residual
mean,
money off of it. You and your family have at it.
but you got to look at it. If you never know that beforehand, of course you're going to sell it. You know,
Well, so let me throw this past you. And folks out there, I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation so far. We are going to get to your comments, so keep them coming in. I see Ravens with us. See Rick is still with us. August has jumped in here with us. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get to your comments here shortly. I was at a birthday party. One of my brothers had his birthday. Dave, happy birthday to my guy out there. And then all the fellas that Slam, Ant, Rich, all of us are together. Doing what we do. Yelling about shit and only probably know half of what the hell we talking about, but we having a good time. So the conversation of Katt and Taraji and everything comes up, and my thoughts on this privately, and I don't think I've said this publicly, but my thought process is if you're not happy with where you are, then figure out how to take control and have your own. I'd rather someone do that, someone who looks like me do that, than to keep expecting someone who doesn't look like us to go ahead and give you a raise. That's not gonna happen. And what I was trying to explain was, as much as and they were like, "Well, I love this actress." Well, when the last time have you went and bought a ticket or set your ass down to watch something streamed that she was in? Because that is what dictates what she's making more than anything else. Hollywood is in business to make money. And if I don't care what, red, white, green, purple, blue, if you can make them more green, they're more than happy to make more money off of you, and as long as they retain ownership of it as best they can. And I feel like that sometimes gets lost in some of these stories that seem to make the news on YouTube.
and again, I want to agree with you, but then you say create your own thing. I was like, well, you got to start from somewhere to create your own thing, right? So she goes and gets the jobs in Hollywood. She's been there for 25 years or whatever it is, and she's still getting paid like she was in the beginning. So
A little
why not
more,
have to?
a little more, a little more. Let's not let's
Okay,
not let's not let's
even
not act like she's making.
even if it's just a little more is not what it should be compared to her counterparts. So there is a legitimate gripe there.
Not saying
Whether
they're
you want to hear,
good.
okay, I'm just whether you want to hear it or not, there is a legitimate gripe there, right? And so to the people who say, quit your griping, you know who you're working with, build your own thing, and it's like, well, you got how can you build it if they're not paying you what you should be getting paid so that you can build your own thing? It's one of those things where like you have to take into account why people are jaded. Like you have to take into account why people feel like, goddamn, I can't. There's nothing I can do. Like that is a tangible thing in the conversation. I feel like just gets glossed over because people are like, oh, you got enough money anyway. Like, no.
Yeah, but I think what you're saying, you're speaking more of someone who's coming off the street with nothing in their pockets. I'm talking about people who have made connections, who have a team, who have actual money that they could go, and the money and some connections to go and start their own whatever and do their thing, whether it be independent film and work your way from there. This isn't someone who's coming off the street with nothing, with no empty pockets. I don't know how to make my way through. I can't get into any of these rooms to speak to anyone or make. So I think there is a difference
But
there.
I think the part of that though that is not talked about is that is when you take those opportunities to get investors and then your shit doesn't pop, you've ruined that relationship. So there's a fear there where if this thing doesn't pop off the way I want it to, not only am I not getting the work at my regular job, but the people I asked to help me fund this project and it flops. Now they're going to be less likely to work with me. So in essence, you have to gamble everything on yourself while not saying anything about how you've been treated, and hope that the people you make connections with are willing to give you a chance on something that you and them are not sure about.
No, 100%. It's a gamble, but that's if you're willing to take the gamble, that's why you get to be the boss, and that's why you get to keep the bulk of the money.
Okay, fair enough. But
Yeah,
I can't begrudge someone who's not willing to take that gamble after being screwed in the industry for 20 years. And those same people who were your friends the entire time knew about it and didn't say anything.
I'm not. It's not about begrudging. It's about look. I don't care if whether you are a studio exec or a VP or president in Hollywood, or your Oprah, or your Tyler Perry, your Jeff Bezos, whoever you are, or your Brian Grazer and Ron Howard. No one starts something on their own to have their money, to make the money they make, have the power they have, to turn around and give you what you deserve. That has never been how this works, ever, 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 ever. So I'm just a believer that if you want something, you go fucking get it. You go fucking get it. Because sitting around waiting for, and I don't care who's watching, and I don't care what you think, you can agree or disagree. I want to hear about it. But there's so many different industries that people who look like you and I are in, there is not a fair handshake for us. And that's just part of what it is. So to sit and expect for that to happen for you and waiting for that and waiting for that and waiting for that instead of taking some type of power, some type of control and running with it, for me, my mind, and you know how my mind works, it doesn't even make sense to me. Doesn't even make sense to me. If I had a $6 million home, $12 million in the bank, 20 plus years in the business, and I'm not happy with where I am, and I don't see that fucking sun coming up over the horizon, then we got to figure something else out so I can get what I think I deserve. Because I'm not going to sit here and wait for you to give it to me, because that's not coming.
Fair enough. I mean, it's hard to argue with that point. I definitely believe that you are the type of person that if you want it, you're going to go and try and get it best you can. And I think I think what bothers me about the Taraji hate is when people are just like stop griping. I was like, no, I think you should. I think we should allow people to gripe, even if we disagree with the gripe. Right? It'd be one thing if she had no accolades and she was complaining about money, but she does have accolades. So I tend to let the area be a little bit more gray when it comes to who's allowed to complain. Like if you've done something, you're allowed to complain. If you haven't done anything, you're not really allowed to complain, I guess.
But here's my
But even that, you're still allowed to complain. I just the weight to it, I guess, would be less.
I don't have a problem with you voicing how you feel. So speaking of, and we're talking about Taraji right now. If Taraji's feeling how she's feeling, I'd rather she didn't do it. I'd rather she did it behind closed doors and came up with a plan and figured it all out. That's what I would have rather been done, to see that strength, taking that strength and using it for that. That's what I would have preferred. But what I do dislike is the amount of people who want to come out and stand up for her. And I wish I could ask all of them, When is the last time you have bought a ticket to support some? Not that she hasn't done good projects, but where was your support to make sure she was getting what she should have been getting?
But they're not the dictators of it.
Numbers don't lie. And so what I will always say, and you, Dion, you and I talk about this all the time.
They kind of do though.
No,
Sometimes they do.
you and I talk about this all the time. You just got done saying it. For all the black people out here talking about, that's my girl. I love her. She been. When's the last time you were supporting something she was a part of?
I can't speak to people's support. I'm not checking their receipts. What I'm saying is that people with less than her have made more than her with flops where she doesn't have them. So it's just like she's got a
I
legitimate
don't
complaint.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that, and that takes me back to what I was saying. Almost any industry we jump into, including the entertainment industry, you know you're going to be dealt a bad hand. So I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all. I'm just saying, come up with a different way to go about getting through it. Sorry, guys. Let me get through some of these comments. Ricky says, "Does it say Facebook user for me? If so, you need a better system." All right. Raven Gregory's with us. Says he's watching too. What's up, Raven? Hope you're still out there, brother. Comedian August O'Neill says, "No, get money." August, what do you mean, no, get money? What are you saying there? Let's see here. Says Dave just wanted to be a part of the convo. He could have called KW.
I have a feeling they talked.
Yeah.
I don't think Dave was wrong, but I don't think Dave was right either. I mean, it is very circumstantial. Yes, we should include everybody, but only if they're for the betterment of the group. If they're a detriment to the group, fuck them. Leave them where they are. This whole idea that we need to come together as a collective unit, that shit turns you into a cult. When everybody is on the same one accord and there is no dissent whatsoever, that uh-uh. You gotta have the people to call out people who are doing shit that they're not supposed to be doing. And whether you agree with Katt's method or not, that is what he did.
Well,
And the receipts were pulled.
I don't have a problem with dissent at all. When I was growing up, the rule was what happens in the family stays in the fucking family. You don't go. I don't care if I'll give this example. You and I could be out someplace and you could be dancing. Well, you don't even dance. I don't know what you do. You be talking to somebody's girl or whatever, and it could be so wrong. I mean, this girl, not only that she obviously married, she got a wedding ring on, she got 2 kids hanging off her leg, all kind of shit. Obviously, you should not be talking
Why
to
would
this
I
girl.
be dancing with this girl while her kids are at the club?
Let's listen to. You could be
How much
wrong.
liquid death did I drink?
None, because you ruined the deal. You could be wrong as a day long, but I'm going to defend you because you're my brother. Now, when we get in the car and get home, I'm gonna ask you, motherfucker, what the hell was that all about? That was the dumbest thing you could have did, and all other different kind of things I'm going to say, and that is what I'm saying. Not saying we
I
all have to agree, but everything does not have to be on Front Street. It doesn't you no good. What good did it do for Cat Williams, his career, and anybody else's career to do that? He's already got all, according to him, he's got all the fans he needs, got all the money he needs.
What's wrong with telling the truth? Are you so he should have just been quiet about it? He should have never said
He
anything?
couldn't pick up a phone.
After the allegations, you think either one of those fools wanted to talk to him? You see, and this is my issue. Is like he's supposed to be quiet, but these guys keep getting away with what they've gotten away with. So, at what point do you say to the public, "Hey, the guys that you are celebrating aren't who you think they are"? Is he wrong for exposing that? I don't think he is.
Well, you just got done saying Steve is so far away from the big spotlight. Said is doing the TV show and still what? I mean, what are we doing here? Neither one of them are
The
doing stand
reason
up.
why the reason why he addressed them is because they went on a public platform and talked about things that they lied on him about.
Okay, well,
That's the only. It's not like Cat woke up and was like, "Oh, let's go fuck up 2024." And no, that's not what happened.
all right. Facebook user says, "Great evening, thank you,
That's
person."
Tanika.
What's good, Tanika? Thanks for jumping in with us. Bruce says, good point. Bruce, you're dead to me. Let's see here. Let's see. It tanked. Yes, it did. Joe is a bitch. Ricky says Joe is a bitch. We said
Um,
what did we what
he's talking about Joe Rogan, I'm assuming.
oh, okay. Joe is 5'2". Yeah, he's not a big fella. What's up, Keith? Thanks for jumping in. We ain't seen Keith in a little while. Thanks for jumping in, brother. And Bruce says, I don't think you've seen a bad Taraji project. He said, I don't think himself seen a bad Taraji project. I'm with you. I've been digging her work for years. I think the first thing that always pops in my mind, not saying it's necessarily the first thing I saw, is Hustle and Flow. It's the first thing that pops in my head every time I think about Taraji, about the first thing that I saw. And I thought her team, I think she fired everyone. I think you talked about this. I think she missed a real prime opportunity when Empire was really hot. Was probably her time to really be trying to jump out there and do things.
I'd agree with you. Every time when I hear her name, I always think of Yvette and Baby Boy. Just
Another one. Yeah.
whenever I hear Taraji P, is always I'm gonna make the tacos.
Jody. Yeah, that's a good one. That was a good one. But it was an
You
interesting
gonna rape
conversation.
me in front of my son? Snoop was diabolical.
I love Snoop, but not right for that role. I didn't think. It's kind of a weak spot of the movie for me when Snoop comes onto the scene. I'm just
When the
like,
most gangster thing you do is kick over the kid's fort, yeah.
he did do that. That shit was funny too.
Yeah.
Baby Boy is a classic. I don't think it's the greatest movie ever made, or even close to it, but it's still a classic
No.
movie. When Ving Rhames hits that fool, knocks him up off the ground and through the table, the glass table in the living room, and his mother still takes Ving Rhames' side, lets you know how bad Baby Boy really had it. This man has knocked your son through a table, and you are still taking his side, asking him not to leave.
Well, she can make another son.
Which takes me to one of my favorite fucking quotes. You made Jay, make another Jay. I love that quote. Love that quote. Chelsea says, what's up, Chelsea? Chelsea says, I watched Baby Boy religiously. My dad hated it. I don't want to go down that road, Chelsea.
I can imagine why though.
It's the what's good, my peeps? LOL. What is going on? How
That
are you?
was Lee.
What's good, Lee?
He says Snoop says he hated that part, kicking over the fort.
Does he say why he hated it? I'm curious about. Does he say that was just a stupid scene, or he just felt bad kicking over the fort? he and he didn't die very well either in the movie. Did you buy Cuban Goodings Jr.'s brother? I can't think of his first. Omar. Did you buy Omar as a gangster in that movie?
Gangster, yeah, I did.
I
Even
kind
though
of
I,
did
even
too.
though I, even though I watched him on Wild and Crazy Kids.
Even though I was gonna say hanging with Mr. Cooper. I still bought him as a thug way more than I
more,
did Snoop.
more, more than Snoop, more than Tyrese. Yeah,
And it was weird because I think Snoop did grow up and hanging out with gangbangers, I believe, right? So
yeah.
he said because he loves kids and he felt bad. Okay, so he felt bad about kicking over the fort. No man, you guys. That's why the scene wasn't that great because he didn't do it with any heart. I I have kicked over many of a little brother and little cousin pillow fort. You got to give it some heart, some gusto. That shit up out
So
the living room.
you gotta express fuck them kids with the gusto.
Yeah, man. I just met this girl on the bus. She'll be over here any minute. Get that shit up out the living room over here, all up in the way. I want to ask you, or thank you guys for watching, and ask you guys again to go ahead and click that share button for us. We do appreciate it. So what I guess what else were your thoughts, if you had any, on that conversation between Snoop and D-Ray?
Or you mean Dave and D-Ray?
Who'd I say? Snoop.
Snoop, yeah.
I'm sorry, Dave and
I
Dave and D-Ray.
I
Dave
just thought
Chappelle.
the perspective of the idea that you should never take food out of someone's mouth, regardless of who they are and what they've done to you, it's not something that resonates with me. And if you've done something to me and I see to it that I can keep it from happening to someone else, then you best believe I'm gonna make sure it don't happen to nobody else.
Right. I can, well, and
You
that's
know,
you. 100% you. I did want to make sure I got this in before my brother Rich is on here. Quote of the year: "Your allegiance to losers is not like you." That was gold. That was gold. And Katt stopped and thought about that. He thought about that one for a second because I think he felt a certain way that Shannon was coming to the defense. I think it might have been for Steve Harvey at that point, maybe even Ricky. I don't know, but yeah, your allegiance to losers is not like you. And then Keith
he
says,
knew
"Quote of 2024."
he knew he had a vital moment when he said that. That's a GIF now. You can type it in a little GIF search and it'll pop up.
Oh man, that was good. Let me ask you this, and I know some women out there who are watching may get on me for this. I don't know if they're watching right now. I haven't seen Aaliyah pop in yet or anyone, so I'm not sure if she's even on here or Tamiko or Latasha or anyone. So if you guys are out there, let me know. What are your thoughts? I'll share mine, and I want to hear from you guys as well on Torrei Hart, Kevin Hart's ex-wife, going on tour with Katt Williams right on the heels of that interview he did with Shannon, which he kind of reopened that rivalry between he and Kevin.
Um, I've never seen her stand up, so I can't comment on whether or not she belongs on the tour because I've never seen her perform. And he said in an interview that he only takes people who are funny with him on the road. So, with that being said, if that's the case, then this is a great opportunity for her to, prove another thing he said in that interview to be true. Otherwise, it'll fall in the book category where we find it really hard to believe that you do everything you say you do. As far as her keeping the last name, nobody knows you outside of Kevin Hart. So, I mean, I I don't. Was she gonna go back to her maiden name?
So I'll start where you ended, the last name thing. Give back the name. It wasn't yours. You got it in the marriage. I Dion sent me over, and I wish I had loaded it up. I didn't. I'm gonna pull it up on my end. You guys can't see it. I think you sent it to me on Facebook Messenger.
I did.
There it is. Excuse me, folks. So it's a picture of Kevin. It's just like almost like a split screen, I believe, with Kevin and Tori. And it says Kevin Hart's ex-wife Torrei Hart says she will keep Hart as her last name. I was there from the beginning building the brand name. So I have a huge problem with that because people always want to take credit for shit. What did you do exactly? Did you stay with the kids while he was out working and hitting the clubs and doing those different things? Thank you for your contribution. But now we have moved on. You have been fired. You've been let go. It is time to find another job. There's no reason for you to keep this last name other than you probably feel like you don't have the ability to make something out of your own name. Let the name go. Get over it. As far as going on tour with Katt Williams, one of the most disloyal things I can think of is doing that. And doing it right off the heels of this interview. This man has drug the name of the father of your kids through the dirt any opportunity he's gotten, at least over the last 5 to 6 years. And you would go on the road with this man, shows short-sighted thinking for one, and two, just a lack of loyalty at all. And if you're going to do that, then give up the name. Go
Did
back to
did
your
she
maiden
get
name.
did she get cheated on? Where's the loyalty there?
We
I
don't know.
mean, come on,
There, there's
come on.
there between there has been an argument or disagreement between those two ladies, the present wife and the ex-wife, on the time frame and what was going on at that time, and no one has come to the surface and said
Here's
A, B, and
here's
C
what
happened, X, Y, and Z happened.
here's what we know for sure. The current wife has been cheated on, and we've all seen the videos and the memes.
Yep.
So you know the saying: once a cheater, always a cheater. So I wouldn't be surprised if before he met this current wife, that when he was with the ex-wife, he cheated on her too. So this idea of quote unquote being loyal to the last name is kind of ridiculous when the last name did you dirty as well. So all is fair in love and war, as they say. I have zero problems with her keeping the last name. I don't know how much of the brand she built. I don't know how many nights she spent with those two kids while he was off doing whatever it was he was doing. I don't know. I don't know how you would even quantify that.
I'm gonna give her
So,
credit. I'm gonna say she did a lot of it. I'm gonna say she was with those kids a lot because I know and you know what it takes to do this. That's why Tamara and I don't have any children. So I'm
so
gonna
all the more reason she should keep the last name, just
hell
because
no, it is over. I gave you
it's not.
107. If you believe what it said on the internet, I gave you $175,000 spousal support up front. Boom, and I gave you $20,000. And this is as of 2013, is when this writing was. I gave you $20,000 a month for child support. You've been paid up, paid up. You can't find unemployment like that anywhere.
See, and that's where women come in with you don't know the cost of being a mother, and you know how you have to give up who
I
you
know.
are in order to.
I
So
know. I know.
look, man. So
I know.
I
So
mean, I'll let the ladies in the comments, rebut that response. But I just, to me, what damage can she do to Kevin Hart? I mean, honestly, what can she?
it's not about damage. It's about right and wrong. This it's just not right, man. It's just not right.
What's well, two rights don't make a wrong.
Oh, here you
If
go.
you'd have done right, she wouldn't be out here doing her wrong.
You see,
Apparently,
you know what I love. I love how you, when it comes to her, you don't make any assumptions. Anything to do with Kevin though, but that's because you
no,
got that Cat Williams
no,
love.
no, no,
That's
no, no,
that's
no, no, no,
that's
no, 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 no,
you,
no,
you,
no, no, no. I'm not saying she was a perfect wife. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about your argument as to why she doesn't have a title to the last name.
100%. You had the last name when you got here. Go back and get it. And I love reading in the comments of what you sent me there. Women, oh, that's why, yeah, girl. After when you keep that last name. Oh, yes. I love when women want to move on. So this was the worst situation, but I'm keeping that last name though. I'm keeping that last name. Every excuse under the book. I want to have the same last names as my kids. Get out of here for
Didn't you
what?
didn't you earlier say that hey, you got to get out and build something and make it your own? Well, she took what was hers, which was the last name, and now she's trying to build something that's her own.
Mary says there's no reason for her to not be on tour if she really is funny. Oh, Mary. Oh, Mary. Rich Norwood said, shit, my ex let go of my last name and I have been begging her to let it go. Shake my head. Oh, I'm sorry. I think are you saying won't let go of the last name? Rich, what is the reason? If Rich is still there, I would like to know if she's giving you one, what is the reason she's giving you for not wanting to let go of your last name? I'm almost guessing in my mind what it is. Facebook user says, like Lee said, the name is the brand. Look at R. Kelly's ex, Andrea. She kept it. I would have changed my name immediately. 100%. You married
That was
to a
that was
child molester.
that was Demetria.
What's up, Demetria?
Yeah,
Thank you for jumping in. Go ahead,
yeah.
bro.
Lee said the name is the brand, and Tina kept the name Tina Turner. She kept the name Tina Turner, even though Ike was.
That was 100% different. Tina was the brand. Tina was the star. That's 100. That's not even close to being the same thing.
What they call her? What they call her? Tina what?
Turner.
Who was she? Where she get that from?
Oh, we already know where she got it from.
Okay, well
But
then
if
what
we're
you
talking, but no, no,
mean?
no, 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 no. If we're talking about brands, Tina was the brand. If that's the argument we're making, that's what we're talking about. What are you
That's
talking
not
about?
what we're talking about. We're
That
talking about the last name. You
we
just said
are.
she got to
We
get that back.
no
And then
sir,
when
no
Tina
sir,
Turner turned it
no
into a brand,
sir.
oh no, that's her. She get to keep it.
I
Wait,
brought
wait,
right.
what?
No sir, I brought right up what you sent me, and I read it right there where Torrei Hart said she's keeping the name because she was there to help build the brand. So we are talking about the brand. We are talking about it.
Okay.
Not to mention, please don't compare them. Not only was she the more talented of the group and made the whole damn thing, she got raped and beat by this man for years.
Hey, I'm not talking about any of that stuff.
Nah,
What I'm saying
nah,
is
nah.
she kept the last name and it wasn't a problem. Now all of a sudden, Torrey Hart want to keep the last name. Nah, you got to get your own
Wait a
name.
minute. This is some more of that bullshit you tried to do with the Indians last week. You always try some shit
No,
all the
that's what
time. You
you
always
said.
try some shit all the time, man. Mary says, I thought Kevin admitted to cheating. Mary, I don't think I saw that, but if he did, let me know if
To
you
the
what it
current
is.
wife, I don't know about that.
Yeah, the
I don't know
current
about
wife. Yeah,
Tori.
the current wife. Yes, Roxy back in here, starting shit. First thing she gonna say is hashtag Team Dion. The first thing you couldn't even say.
What up, Roxy?
You couldn't even say. I told y'all before. I need to find some other.
Bwah, 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 bwah.
No sir, no sir, no sir. there will be, there will
Says he
be,
won't do it for you.
there will be no
I
air
got you,
horn.
Roxy.
Get a triangle.
Food's ready.
Rich says, I'm with you, see it, let it go. I appreciate it, Rich. Absolutely 100%. Mary says, changing your last name is a pain in the ass. I'm sure it is, but if you did it when you got married, you can do it when you get divorced. Get up out of here. In fact, the only thing that's is whenever you're heading out on vacation, you're on a road trip. Man, it seems like it takes forever, but for some reason, when you're coming home, it feels like you got back quick. That's because you know how you're going and where you're going and how to get there. Same thing when it comes to changing that last name. You figured it out the first time. It should be even quicker and easier for you to do it. Change that motherfucker back.
Said, retrace your steps,
That's
bitch.
it.
Give me my name back.
That's it. I want my name. I want my daddy's records. Bruce says changing the name is a pain and costs money. Also, a lot of moms keep it for the kids. Look, Bruce, I know you're married and you want to lay next to your wife, but y'all already have kids. You're not having that much more sex anymore. You don't have to kiss her ass with these comments over here. Talking this nonsense over here. I know she's sitting right there next to you as you type them in. Changing the name is a pain. How would you know? You've never changed her name, Bruce.
Because he had a wife who had to change her name.
That has nothing to do with him. He's up here talking like he's a female. Like he had changed your
Well, no,
name as a
I'm
payday.
saying he probably was there for all the frustration that she had to go through to change her last name. I've heard horror stories about people getting married and how much
Horror
it costs,
stories.
and yes, how much it costs for them to change the name and paperwork being lost and just the hassle and for legal purposes with marriage licenses and well taxes and stuff. It's just like it's so. I've heard people be like, "Yeah, I wish I'd have never done it. If I'd known this was part of the process, I'd have just not changed my last name."
Roxy says, y'all better think twice who you give your last name to because once they have it, it's theirs. Thinking that she owes that last name any loyalty is a very antiquated point of view. No, it is not, Roxy, antiquated at all. I didn't say she
Dom
needs to stay.
DeMarco,
I didn't say she
Roxy
need.
spitting over there.
I didn't say she needs to stay at right. I didn't say she needs to stay at home and do nothing but cook and clean and all that kind of. I said the woman should not be on tour with someone who dislikes the man who gave you two children that I'm assuming you love and you cherish. That is the conversation here, not
She loves the
antiquated point of
kids.
view.
She don't care for the man because of the things the man did to her.
You another one. I swear to God, you be pulling this shit. Is this what you do on
I'm
all
just putting.
podcasts?
I'm just no, no, no. I'm just putting it in perspective of I put myself in those shoes. Would I have any loyalty to someone who did me dirty?
You
Absolutely
don't
not.
know if he did her dirty. Only one we know he did
Y-
dirty was a
yes,
Nico.
no. I know he did her dirty.
You don't know. Were
Because where you
you?
think he got a Nico from?
Nico, I pulled up the tweets that are now deleted. I must say that they've been deleted for quite some time, where Nico gives her side of the story. Sure.
And you think I'm gonna believe her?
See, like I
Because
said, you act like
you think
you
I'm
act
gonna
like
believe her?
you act like Torrei Hart's sister over here.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know.
Uh,
She
Rich,
knew he was married. She was very friendly with the motherfuckers. You think I'm gonna believe what she got to say about how it happened? Okay.
I'm just saying a Cat Williams slant of view for you. Richard Norwood says my kids is the reason his ex-wife won't let go of his last name because she wants to keep the last name of the kids. What is the big what? They won't let you pick them up from school because you have a different last name. This doesn't even, that never makes sense. That is, you don't let the last name go because you want to still have a piece of this man who wants no part of you, no part of you.
Yeah, there might be some truth to the bitterness you're spewing.
I'm not I'm not spewing any bitterness. I'm trying to tell you.
I want my show back. That's what you sound like.
Mary says then Tina should not have used Turner. Dead wrong, Mary. Mary, you and I have never fought like this on the show before. I don't know if you,
I bring out the best in
I don't know if you
everybody.
drank some vodka or something before the show started, or what. You just having a bad day. Roxy says so you only want the last name if you perceive them doing better than you, or than they should. I don't think that's what I said at all, Roxy, but I can see how your female way of twisting things up and trying to get me into this circular little conversation where I'm going to be upset and won't sleep tonight and I got to sleep on the couch. You're not about to do that to me, Roxy.
Lee says I agree with Sydney on that one.
Thank you, sir. Mary says Cher didn't need to keep Bono. No, no, but I don't think Cher ever walked around branding herself Cher Bono either.
True. It was just Sonny and Cher.
That's all I know of, and that was what I know of them being famous with Sonny and Cher. Mary Ballard, and when you look at Sonny, I mean everybody knew that was just purely for the business. There's no way Cher could have ever. I mean, you look at Cher back in the day. I mean, that was a beautiful woman, and Sonny
Cher
was a.
hasn't
What's that?
Cher hasn't changed. I said Cher hasn't changed. You mean back in the day. She looks the same then as she does now.
Yeah, but I know
Very little
how.
has changed.
I know how old she is now. So, and what I do like
Said it
about
ain't sunny no more. It's even
100%, little
sunsetting over there.
sun is way set and dusty. What I do, what I do like
Why
with,
you smoking Cher?
I'm,
You don't gotta call her Dusty.
I'm a truth teller. I'm a truth teller tonight.
I know. I don't think Cher's Dusty at all. To be honest with you, with that amount of money, I highly doubt she's Dusty.
I'll say this about it. She's put the money in the right places when it comes to a doctor. Because even if you look at her neck, you're not quite sure how old she is. So she went beyond the chin to get that, make
Said
sure that surgery straight.
it ain't till you hear her first song that you're like, oh damn, you how old?
No, it ain't here till you hear her get up out of a chair and hear them joints creaking and cracking. Jesus Christ. Who brought the Tin Man out tonight?
It all stems from when she was dancing with the Jacksons trying to do the rope.
only, only thing I got in my mind when I said it to a T, a T. If you are not black but knew what the reference, what I just referenced, we are giving you an honorary black card. First non-black person to throw that up, man. You get all the love, even if it's you, Roxy. Even though you've been mean to me. A T, a T. Oh, great, great, great.
Courtney says, "Isn't Cher's boyfriend like 29?" I didn't know she had a boyfriend.
I don't know, but that mean though. She still got a lot of money, and he ain't got to put
Yeah,
in much work.
that's why I don't think it's Dusty. That's my only argument.
Please, please, please.
How old is Cher? 70?
Dusty age, I'm sure.
What age is Dusty, bro? I gotta
I'm about to pull this up right now, see how old is Cher.
know. Dusty age. Are any of our
77 years old.
she, she about to be old enough to run for president.
The not only
She turned
this,
78.
the sun ain't set, the sun is gone. A wolf is up on the mountains howling to the moon. It's over.
But it's close to midnight.
Facebook user says, "Nope, I kept my own last name. Never understood the point." All right, okay,
That was Joanne Little.
okay, Joanne. Different way to go about it. Different way to go about it. Says, I have a friend whose husband did her dirty, and she changed her name back, and has also changed her kids' names. They were teens though. Oh, well.
That was Dimitri.
That's the first time I've ever heard of that. So he did something horrific. The kids didn't even fight back. Like, no, I want to keep daddy's last name. They was like, fuck that motherfucker. West Side. All right.
Maybe he went to the stove for cigarettes and never came home.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Lee, for
That
agreeing with
man
me.
don't live. That man don't live here no more.
Till you do right by me. I would keep it just to see reactions, Roxy said. She would just keep the last name to keep. When I did family law, there was a type of dude always worried about the last name. In terms of Roxy, dude was worried about it in terms of he wanted the wife to take it, or he was always worried about her giving it back. I'm assuming you're saying giving it back, but I just want to be sure. Let's see, 77. Someone touched on it before I did. Yeah, 77. Say people out here sniffing dust for $1. Roxy said. Oh my gosh,
I
man!
don't
Oh
think
man!
she's selling sniffs for $1.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I disagree with it. But I will say this: the one thing I am happy, not I shouldn't say happy. One thing I do appreciate, and I try to mimic as best I can because I will be the first to admit I'm not always the nicest person. Okay, I said it. There. I'm a real sweetheart though, but not always. Don't make any faces, Dion. I see you. Kevin always tries to keep this elevated level of presenting himself and thinking and so on and so forth. And so I
Yeah,
can
that's
always
part of the brand.
I can always appreciate that when he was asked a week ago, "What do you think about your ex-wife Torrei going on tour with Katt?" His response to this, I don't know how this woman got close enough to ask these questions, but his response was, "Hey, I want everybody to win." Then he gave her a big thumbs up. Then he turned around and got into his van, his touring van or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and went on about his business. So I appreciate that the man can always keep that out there and on a forefront. I appreciate that.
I don't believe that for a second, but whatever.
Facebook user says, y'all think
It's
shit.
part of his branding, man. And I'm the super happy nice guy. I'm like, nah, how are you though?
I'm sure he is. Facebook user says, y'all think shit the oldest cougar on the planet? No, sir. Come on out to
That was
Scottsdale.
Lee.
Lee, come on out to Scottsdale, baby. I just show you. Come on out here. Come out to AZ. I take you over to Scottsdale. There's some that's just a few ticks above 77. They'll put you up, though, Lee. If you need a place to stay, though, you got to put in work.
How many grand sugar mamas do you know?
Bro, I take them right on over here to Sun City. And where they put work in
How
over
come you
there.
ain't ever took me to Sun City?
Oh, I didn't know you were into the above 75 age.
Hey, everybody needs a retirement plan.
It'll take you right on over there. Right over to Sun City. They got some bread over there. The retirement. Actually, Sun City, it doesn't look like it, but it is a retirement community for the most part. Like you got to be a certain age to live in those neighborhoods. I think they do sell like 2 or 3% of the homes in certain areas. They'll sell to people under the age of 55 because if they don't, then it's It's against the law.
Discrimination.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
against the law. But for the most part, bro, these people are well above, and they just cruising around in golf carts all day,
Hmm.
even on the road, on the main road. I'll take you over there, but I'll caution you. There was a few years back. They were the most highly rated STD area in Arizona. So know that, sir. Know that.
What's a disease at the end of your life?
I think that's how they looking at it too, bro. I think that's how,
The answer is a disease, bro.
oh, I can do this standing on my head. Roxy says they
Demetri-
wanted it back, and it was never about the name. It was the power and control thing. But in California, it doesn't matter. There's no requirement that they change their last name back. If it were me, I might even use it as leverage in negotiating if I knew it was a sore spot. See, right? This is shit I be talking about right here with the females, man.
Hmm.
This is, see, I told you. I tell you,
Vindictive.
straight
Just
up, straight up. This is what I'm trying to tell you, man.
hey. But Roxy's a Latina. Of course, she's vindictive. She can't help it.
Would you say she got a switchblade in the purse at all times?
She'll stab you. You stand close enough.
A butterfly knife in her boot. Mary
You
says.
shouldn't have been looking at me like that.
Mary
How
says.
was I looking at you like that?
Mary says she can make money and he can get child support negotiated. Them kids are damn near grown. I think the oldest is off to college, and this man is worth $500 million. I wish he would go in and try to negotiate to get the child support lowered. He might walk out of there with the opposite.
Here's was that Eddie Murphy? Here's my $240.
I believe this is Lee saying, "Sign me up, fam." If I'm
Yeah.
correct. Oh, Mary says, "I'll take you to Sun City, Di." So Mary can't wait to send you out there and get you infected.
I
Bruce
don't
says,
think it'll be quite the same, Mary.
Bruce says, get Dion, get Dion a snowbird. Why? Mary can be your wingman out there, bruh. Oh, Facebook user says Scottsdale is the capital for cougarism. Royce Bellamy says creeping in the golf carts. 100%. Oh, Royce would be another person who could probably take you out there as a tour guide to
Let's
Scottsdale.
all go as a party and we can film it. Make some content.
Y'all go ahead. What's up, Natasha? We were just we started out talking about Cat Williams, talking about Dave Chappelle and D-Ray talking about Cat Williams, and then we're closing out on the Torrei Hart, Kevin Hart deal there, where I don't think Torrei should be on the road with Cat Williams.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I understand your perspective on it, but I'm of the camp that if he hurts you, then do what you can. You know what I mean? I have no problem with it. If somebody did you dirty, whatever you feel is necessary to get them back in your eyes, as long as it doesn't, cross the line of murder or anything like that. Like, yeah, get them back. I don't care. I had no problem with it.
You had me till you crossed the line. Until you said you can't cross the line to murder nobody. So I'm out on
I
your
mean,
plan.
no, you can't be murdering people.
I'm out on your plan, sir. Facebook you says, "Nah, should have led with them SCDs. I'm out. LOL." Is that Lee?
That's lit. Yeah.
Well, come on, Lee. Quit fucking around. Latasha says Latasha says she owes him no loyalty, and without saying too much, I'm not surprised Latasha said that. I,
You ever been swallowed up?
Did they prove? Did they come out and say that all of that was fake? That never happened. That was some AI shit or something.
I have no idea.
With TD Jakes and Puffy. Latasha says, "Oh, whatever." Latasha, though, I'm happy that you're here. So you're gonna get a
Sucking up. Look at you.
No, I'm not. Latasha hasn't been on in a long time. I'm glad that she's here.
You picked the topic to bring her out.
I think I did actually. I think I did. She ain't commented on nothing in a while. She was like one of the first ones to comment on this, and I posted it up in the group. So yeah. When I typed it, I said, "Yes, Latasha."
This sometimes you gotta go fishing. Yeah.
I know she said she didn't think that she owed him anything. And when you get divorced, I don't think you. She says, "I love you, Deion Curry." Motherfucker, I'm the one that gave you the applause break and the DJ air horn. Ain't this about? This sounds like I'm giving it to you again, but look how I'm doing it in reverse. That means I'm taking it back, Latasha. You just lost it.
What? I mean, I understand from your point of view when it comes to that is the father of your kids. So having that conversation with her children would be important. You know, as far as how they would feel about it. If she doesn't have that conversation, I feel like that's dirty. But at the same time, because of how their relationship ended, if she feel like she's owed a little bit more, I understand it. Whether I agree with it or not, I understand it. So go on and do
Here's
Katt's tour, and I hope. Here's what happens: is that halfway through, she probably goes, "I'll probably take this hard thing off, so I can finish this tour."
I think what he said that when he was talking about Kevin not having any lines of people waiting for him at comedy clubs, so on and so forth. I think what he was maybe saying was Torrei Hart. There's no lines for her at comedy clubs. Because I told you before, I can't believe he would say anything like that. The way that man moves tickets, and I'm just going to say for me here, what I was impressed with was last summer when he came to work out at the Tempe Improv, which is 400 plus seats. This man had 5 shows sold out in a matter of 20-25 minutes. And then they decided to throw up a 6th show, and he sold that bitch out in 5 minutes. That was without any press. That was without any radio, any of the stuff that they didn't even have his name on the marquee. They did shows all weekend. Didn't even put his name on the marquee. And so to say that this man doesn't bring him out, I'm like, what are you
No,
talking
I
about?
think he was talking about in the beginning. Well, before he had popped, obviously now Kevin's the biggest name in comedy. So
But he would have had to have people standing in lines in droves. He was selling out comedy clubs. You don't get to move up to theaters and then there if you can't sell out clubs. That didn't even make sense.
I agree with you. I don't think that Kevin hasn't had people waiting outside of the door. I'm just saying in the reference of this time period, Kevin hadn't been out to LA yet. Yet he had already had a deal, and he said Kevin wasn't selling out when he was going out there. I can't dispute that because I wasn't there and I don't know. And Kevin hasn't spoke on it, so
I would, if you're talking about him hitting LA and having a deal, that's all because if that was true, but he had the team in place already. He already had Dave Becky in
which is
place.
the accusation that he's a plant.
Yeah, but then but you have to come back on that and say if he didn't have anything going in terms of having a career in comedy and stand up and so on and so forth, Dave Becky wouldn't want to bring him on board if there was no money to be made. And 2, people still have to buy the tickets. The people aren't going to say, yeah, because Hollywood said that we should. We're going to pay X amount of dollars for these tickets at any point in time. Either they're coming to see you, and you can't argue with Kevin's comedy, especially early in his career with the specials he dropped. He was a funny dude. He was a funny dude, and you can't argue with that. Not even if you Cat Williams can you argue that this dude was funny as shit in those first couple of specials when he was doing his thing. You just can't argue that point.
Right. I mean, last for a minute is what it is. And he kind of talked about that in the interview with Shannon. So I agree with you there.
So who was I talking to about this? I was talking to another comedian, and they said, yeah, I don't think, or maybe it was a podcast. So much it's getting mixed. But they said Kevin's not a plant, but they said it might have been Corey Holcomb, and he said, but if you want to talk about Gerard Carmichael being a plant, he said, I'm all for that. I was pretty sure that was Corey. And then Latasha says here, you see why I love Deion Curry. Yeah, no one can. Yeah, we've moved on from that, Latasha.
Love you too, Tasha.
You ain't been on the show in a while. First thing you do, you come over here talking about I love you, and then double air horns. Mary's turned on me. I got no love tonight, there, bro. When it's cold outside,
You got shares, Dusty.
who are you holding? Oh yeah, nights like this. All right, let's do this last one, then we go get out of here. Thank you guys again for watching. You guys are hung in there pretty good tonight. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. I've been Sidney Smith. I'm not even going to talk about that other dude because y'all have shown him enough love, and I'm sick of it. Frankly, I am just very sick of it. Boom. There we are. Move it on. So,
What's wrong? Jealous?
which button
This
would
is a good
you?
one.
Which yes, Dion picked this one out. Which button would you press? I put it up on the screen for people to see. I'll leave it up there for you guys to look at for a moment here. Dion, did you already know which one? Did you already decide which one you would press already?
Yes, I know exactly which one I'm pressing. It'll be the last one I mentioned. I
Okay.
think we should do it that way.
Let's see where we at on time. Yeah, I think we have some time there. So yeah, Dion and I will rank them as we normally do, from last to first. Dion, which one is the last one you're pressing?
The last one for me is so easy. It's the student loans. I don't have any student loan debt, so obviously I wouldn't press that button because I don't need it. So
You know what? I'm gonna go with you on that. I am going to press that one too, because I don't have any student loan debt either. Let me move over here real quick. Just backtrack for a moment if I can, Dion. Roxy says, "When you're
uh-oh.
right, we'll show you love, see it." And then what I love is that she said that they put a heart on the end, like that's supposed to clean it up. Yeah, yeah.
Roxy with the quick trigger.
I see what we're doing here. I see what we're doing here. All right. Facebook user says mortgage free is what they're choosing.
That that's Joanne.
Joanne. Joanne, is that the one? Is that your ultimate one that you would push? Is mortgage a free mortgage? And says Facebook user here says, "Dang, I just able to catch the stream." No worries, you got
It's
a couple more.
Robert
Robert, you got a
from
couple more minutes
Houston.
with us.
Excuse me.
All right. Let me put
Can
it
you
back.
put it back up on this? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, there you
All
go.
right, you
All
got
right.
it.
So,
My
what's
bad.
your next one, sir? Where you going with?
Let me see here. Um, oh, the lifetime supply of pizza for sure. Because what is that? One pizza a week? I mean,
I'm pretty
I'm not
shocked
eating
that
pizza every day,
I'm
you
pretty shocked
know.
that's off the
So
board so quick for you. To be honest with you, I'm pretty shocked that.
why?
I thought that would have hung around a few rounds for you.
No, no. If student loan hadn't been on there, it would have been the first to go for
I'm,
sure.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go with you again on that one. Lifetime supply of pizza is off the board for me as well. Roxy says blue, so she's going with 20 years of good health is what she's gonna press, which is I
Okay.
can't that's not bad. Joanne said, "Yep, she wants to know mortgage is what she wants," and Mary says, "Ed and I both picked 20 years of good health." All right, okay, so everybody wants to be feeling good. I see.
Is good health and homeless worth it? Ooh, I feel good outside. And it's cold.
I see. Latasha says orange. She's going mortgage free as well. Yeah, people don't want to make the mortgage payments if they don't have to. Someone said free utilities for life. That's not a bad one either though. It's not a bad
That's
one.
Robert in Houston.
Where you going next, bro? So far, oddly enough, we've been on the same page with this so far.
Yeah, I think this is where we're gonna split. I would get rid of the free utilities for life, mostly because of all the payments. Utilities is my least, so I wouldn't mind keeping that and get rid of some of these other payments around here.
You them utility bills are kind of light anyway, so they ain't no big deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh, I'm torn on this part. I'm torn on this one. I'm torn on this one because I'm gonna have to go with you again.
It's, oh, I thought we were gonna differ for sure.
No, because I'm thinking about my wife on this one. I don't want to say which one I'm in. Maybe I'll say it at the end if you remind me, but I'm torn on this and another one. I'm going to go with you. Free utilities for life. I'm knocking off next for myself. Facebook user says red turns heads.
That's Robert. Lee
Okay.
Jones says orange easy. Emmy says mortgage free, so she's pushing the orange one.
Thanks for watching, Emmy. Appreciate you.
And then Robert says dream home, but you be having to pay that highlight bill.
All right. I got to know
Turn the light off.
what does dream home look like? Yeah, turn the lights off, man.
You
Dion,
ever play the you ever
what?
play that game The Sims?
No.
Were you ever? Have you heard about it though?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you know? I mean, for interior decorators, I think that's one of the greatest things ever invented to kind of get people to, if that's what you want to do, because the type of things that you can design in those games are phenomenal. So I just I don't know why I got on that tangent, but
That was interesting. I wanted to see where that was going to go. Which, when you started out with interior decorating, I was like, oh, ooh, this should be good. Where's he going?
well, just because of the fact that you talk about your dream home and what it looks like, you can kind of play around. There's a lot of tools where you can imagine what type of house you want. My brother used to play it, and he was much more artistically inclined. Where I'm a creative, I can make words and stuff, but when it comes to art and pictures and
Right.
creating that dynamic, I suck at it. Even though I know what I want it to be in my head, the translation does not find itself to the page. So I was just
Gotcha.
curious if you ever did it, but you didn't. So now I'm out here looking stupid.
No, no. If it helps you, I did take architectural courses. So if that
I once did a PowerPoint.
that helps you, if that helps you, where you going next, bro?
I'm getting rid of the vacation time, the little purple one,
Okay, okay.
just because our career is kind of a vacation. I mean, you get to go places, you get to meet new people. There is a fun atmosphere when you're working. So, of the things left, I think the quote unquote vacation where I'm not doing anything, I'm just chilling. I don't think I would miss that more than the other two options that are left.
We live a long time with my family, and I'm in good health more often than I'm not, way more. So I'm gonna go blue. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that 20 years of good health button because that's not really a concern of mine.
Yeah, you work out pretty regularly. You drink liquid death, so yeah.
AC be pumping. Someone say. So you ever been in the Texas heat? That AC be pumping, and does the paid vacation time come with paid destinations? No, sir or ma'am.
Sarah Marion says, "Does the pay vacation time?" No, it does not. And Robert from Houston was the one who says ACB pumping. Yeah, I mean, if you live in Texas with that grid down there, I know with the polar storm, was it 2 years ago,
Yeah,
where
that
all the
was
people,
yeah.
there were people who had to pay their electric bills with no electricity. So yeah, I understand that, Robert.
You can always see where Ted Cruz is going on vacation. See if he'll hook you up with a couple dollars.
That's the button he pushed. Let me get on up out of
Raise up, raise up. Where you going next, bro?
here. My the 20 years of good health,
Okay.
because honestly, it's not that important.
So your last thing there that's most important for you is the mortgage free.
Yeah, the mortgage-free dream home, not having to pay rent is wonderful. The absolute wonderful thing on that list to me.
Yeah. So this is I'll say the 3 years paid vacation. I don't take vacations really. I don't really believe in them. But my wife enjoys being able to do stuff like that. That's why it's even still on my list. I probably would have taken that off first. That probably would have went before, or second would have went before pizza because I just don't care about vacations. But I would enjoy more having a mortgage-free dream home, and so I'm pressing the purple button, and I'm gonna have the orange one left for myself as well. Man, you and I really vibed on this one. That's
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think we were gonna mesh outside of the student loan one at all.
why. What did you think I was gonna end up with? What did you think?
Honestly, I thought you were gonna take the free utilities,
Really?
just because. Yeah, I mean, because I don't know if that's your dream home that you're living in now. If you want to move, so
Nope, I'm gonna rent this bad boy out to you when I buy the next house.
I'm gonna be hitting that red button like a motherfucker.
Was that?
The free utilities. Hey,
Oh,
why this button don't work? Hey, Sydney, the water ain't on. The lights ain't on.
it sure isn't. I shut all that shit off before you moved in. You need to go down there and put that shit in your name, sir. Facebook Q says
At
I
least
will
get the
differentiate.
Wi-Fi password.
No, sir. You be on the internet a lot. Iowa been freezing. Facebook user says might need the red one.
That's Sarah Marion again. Yeah,
And Liquid Death, Mr. Fancy. Who called me that? Who called me Mr. Fancy? Who called me Mr. Fancy?
I don't see that one.
Okay. I can't see whose name that one is there. I will tell you, yes, I am fancy. So, cross break to you for knowing that. Good job, person, whoever you are. Whoever you are. Fun show. You guys have been amazing, man. Thank you guys for jumping back in and checking in and hanging with us. It says me. The person puts Facebook user me.
That was Robert.
Oh, Robert. Dork. Thanks, Robert, for jumping in. We appreciate it. I don't know if anyone saw it. I posted up on the group. I'm going to try to, or we, I should say we're a team. We're going to try to give you guys a better time frame of what the show is going to be about. Hopefully, you guys can make a decision quicker if we tell you quicker. And then hopefully that'll help everyone be on the show with us when the show's coming on. So we'll try to be better about doing that. I think we've been piss poor, if I'm being honest about it. So we need to get back to getting on our job. We've been slacking too much before the holidays and since the holidays. So we need to get better. Mary says, thank you guys. Love you both. Mary, I love you too, though you turned on me tonight. Really did. Really did. It's just,
Winning hearts and minds.
fuck you, man. Deon, what you got before we get out of here, brother?
My wait, what? No, what is it? My what the hell is up with these promoters, man? Look, just because you created the show doesn't mean you have to be the star of the show. If you have people that you're working with that are talented, let them shine in their talents. You ruin your own production when you make it about you, and it's clearly the vibe is off. So just be mindful of where you stand and you know what you're doing. That sometimes you can be in your own way, and that sometimes you have to take a look at yourself and delegate to other people when it's not your strength to be the one in charge. So
A couple things. I'm gonna make it quick. First of all, my nephew Caden got a ride to play offensive lineman at Arizona State University. Super proud of him. Hung out,
congratulations.
yeah, hung out with his parents last night. His mother nephew hung out with them. So I got my glass from that from his high school. They also won the state championship this year as well. So he's going to be getting this ring for that. They ended up ranked 15th in the nation, his high school. And I think he ended up being ranked the 49th or 50th best player in the entire state by the end of the season, which is quite a feat in itself. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to that entire team. Those boys, they really stuck together and hung in there. And I can't wait to see what he does next. So congrats on that. I told his dad I'd show that glass on the show, so I did. Hopefully he's watching. The other thing I want to say is I don't know if you're a fan of them or not, but the Detroit Lions are going to the NFC Championship next weekend. Really looking forward to that. And I'm sharing that because here I am walking the earth thinking I would never see this in my lifetime. Not only are they going, but this team is actually fucking good. I mean, if they actually won, it would not be beyond the realm of possibility if they won next week. So very happy for that. People have been asking me, for the last couple of weeks how I feel about it, and it's been very emotional. And I'm not ashamed to say, kind of shed a little tear when they won the division title. So it's been something to see and be a part of. Even though leave it to them to be really good, and I'm not living in the fucking state. So leave it for that. I wish I was there for that, but it's been great. Nate Banner, brother from back there, back in the D, says, "What up, though, Sid? What up, though?" He said, "How about them Lions?" 100%, bro. Watching it every weekend, it's been great. Congrats, my brother, on your success. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. A lot of my success wouldn't happen without the skinny dude who sits here and takes all the glory on the show. So a lot.
Why?
What are you talking about?
I'm catching strays of your compliments. What is happening?
That's how it be sometimes. That's how it be.
And you wonder why they teamed Dion.
Facebook user says, "Happy for my son because it's his favorite team. Hoping for a Chiefs Lions Super Bowl. I would take that. I would take that. That'd be a great one.
That's Sarah Marion.
That would be a great one. 'Cause that would be a great one. Packers lost. I'm still sad. Is that Sarah as well?
No, that's Demetria.
Okay. And I got to tell you, I'm loving that, Demetria. And Facebook user says Lions are great. I don't like the Ravens at all. Either way, it's going to be tough to win a Super Bowl, but I'm looking
That
forward
was
to when
Miss
they get there.
Susie.
Miss Susie, I love if they got there. Again, thank you guys for rocking with us. We do appreciate you. We have not said this enough at all, and I say that all the time, but I do mean it. Thank you guys. We've been doing this show, what now, 4 years now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 4 years. And as Dion and I like to say, we just practicing for that big moment when HBO comes through. And we all go ahead and take that big old ride out to HBO and we can put the show on there. So thank you guys for letting us practice and get better at this. And we haven't had anybody reach out to us in a while with it. But if you guys have anything next week that you think might be a good topic, no promises, but throw it at us and maybe we will do it. So everyone have yourselves an amazing week. If you're back east and it's cold as hell, don't be out there fooling around. Put blankets and boots and whatever you need, spare gloves in your car. You never know what might happen. Be careful out there walking your pets. Make sure your kids are always covered up. And if you're back here, back west, and it's about 40 degrees outside, put some blankets in your car. Always.
Shut the hell up. In the goddamn show, you soft motherfuckers.
Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Fuck you, man. It's cold as hell out here. It's 40 degrees.
I got a blanket in the car for 40 degrees.
And 2 quilts.